May 18th of 2008, and this is everything I had worked for my entire life.
Cell phones have become a necessity in our society, instantly connecting us to others, even behind the wheel. A person texting while driving 55 miles per hour travels the length of a football field without looking at the road. But these 5 seconds of distraction can have deadly consequences. In 2008, Jacy Good and her parents were driving home from her college graduation when a young driver, previously stopped at a red light, became distracted while talking on speakerphone and turned left into the intersection.
As he did that, an 18-wheeler swerved to miss him, but then hit my family's car, which unfortunately took the lives of both of my parents and put me on the edge of death, and still to this day leaves me partially paralyzed.
In the following months, as she began to process the physical and emotional trauma, Jacy wanted to find a way to prevent others from facing the same horrific circumstances.
Honestly, it hurt too much to keep it to myself, and I felt like maybe, even though so much had been taken, I had to make sense of it.
Jacy and her husband Steve began speaking at public events, on talk shows such as Oprah, and at schools, hoping to make both teenagers and adults aware of the consequences of distracted driving.
I want those people to put themselves in my shoes. This man was stopped at a red light, and you're still the only person in control of a car. You're still driving a car, even if you're not in motion when you're on the road. Everything I do is different because one person made this choice.
I can tell you that when I left that parking lot and I was driving home, I reached for my phone one time and I put it down because that made me think twice about using my phone, especially that day.
While texting is one commonly known source of distracted driving, using a phone in any capacity behind the wheel is dangerous. Studies have shown that even talking on the phone hands-free can reduce the brain function devoted to the road by 37%.
When you start to look at the science, our brains kind of go into overload when we try and multitask. We get this tunnel vision. We're looking and we're not seeing what's right in front of our eyes.
When you have people in your car, do you have the wherewithal to say to the driver, look, put your phone down, you need to focus on driving, because they're responsible for not only their life, but yours as a passenger. So I don't know do we all feel comfortable enough to say to somebody, put your phone away and focus on driving?
We already know it. We just have to live it. There is nothing on our phone more important than a human life. And everyone knows that. But when you're sitting in the car, you have to figure out what works for you to resist the addiction of our phones.
Whether you need to silence your phone, put it in the glove box, or simply power down, find a way to eliminate distractions. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Liz Bierly.